Hello guys, welcome to another session. In this session, we are going to learn about HTML tags, HTML elements, and what is HTML tag attributes. So let's start with HTML tags. So what is HTML tags? So basically, HTML tags is a basic building block of any web page. We have variety of tags available within HTML5, and each different tag format the information and the text which is being displayed. So let's jump into the Visual Studio Code, and where we can look into some of the tags example which we will use while designing the web pages in the upcoming session. So we are into Visual Studio Code, and you will see here I have put a syntax of tag. So basically tag starts with a start tag, and in between you have to provide the content and the end tag, which is a closing tag, which need to be specified with the same name, but here the closing of the tag will be specified with this slash. So let's look into some of the examples. So here I have an HTML page called unorderedlist.html. This we are going to design in our upcoming session, but for a time being you can understand that. See here, head tag has a closing tag with the same name, but here the closing will be specified backslash. Same is the case with the body. This is another type of tag which contains the HTML elements, and here we have UL tag. UL tag has also closing tag. So these are the tags. So separate tags provide the different design element to the HTML web page designing. So here we are specifying UL for unordered list, LI for it is used for listing the element within the unordered list. Then we have nav tag, which is used to design the navigation, and then we have link tag. So there is a certain tag which is a self-closing tag like BR tag. These are self-closing tag. You don't need to specify the closing tag. So this is one of the example of using the tags. You should remember the syntax. If you want to use any tag, for example header element, then you have to use h1 tag and with the help of closing tag. So you need to specify like h1, and see here Visual Studio Code is smart enough to provide the closing tag, and in between that if you specify anything it become header. For example tag understanding. So if you specify like this, so it will print into the web page. If you want to use it like this, then you have to generate the HTML5 syntax first. So with the help of snippet we have to generate it, and if I want to use the h1 tag, so we can put it over here. Now let's look into the example. Copy the path and go to the browser. So I am into the browser, paste path, enter. Then see here the header tag has provided the information in heading style. Same way we can use the other kind of tag. For example here I want to use a unordered list. I can copy it, come here, let's paste it, save it. Now go to the web page, and here we will refresh it. Then see here we have unordered list with all the items. So this is one of the tag which you can use to display the unordered list, which we will discuss in our upcoming session. So for understanding purpose, you just remember that HTML5 offers various type of tag to design our web page. Now let's discuss about some of the self-closing tag. For example HR and the BR tag. Suppose you want to draw a line, horizontal line, so you should use HR tag. That doesn't need any kind of closing tag as it is a self-closing. So let's look into the output, what output it will give us. So now refresh it, then see here you will find a horizontal line which we have generated with the help of self-closing tag, that is HR tag. And suppose you want more space in between the line and the tag understanding. So how we can do this? We will use BR tag, that is also a self-closing tag. So here you can specify BR, save it. So it is also a self-closing. So let's run it. So let's refresh the page. So see here the space come because of the BR tag, that is a self-closing tag. So now we have understand the HTML tag. Now we will look into HTML elements. So what is HTML element? So to understand it, let's jump into the Visual Studio Code. So an HTML element is a combination of starting tag and the closing tag, and this complete start and ending combination is called HTML element. So here it is representing h1 element. That means we are telling that it has a start element of h1 tag and closing tag as well, and in between we have content. Same is the case with the UL element and the LI element. So it is pretty much straightforward, and here we are designing the page with the help of different variety of HTML elements. Now we understand that HTML tags and HTML elements. Now we will understand what actually the HTML attributes are. So let's again jump into the Visual Studio Code. So we are into Visual Studio Code, and you will find that here we are specifying some of the values like rel, href. So basically with some tag needs some properties values to be initialized to use it properly. For example, here we are representing link to connect a CSS file with this web page. So we need to specify what CSS file we want to associate with this HTML page. So here we are telling the location of that particular CSS file, and here we are telling that it is a type of a style sheet, and then we are using the CSS, the style sheet file within this HTML. So this is one of the example of tag attribute. Here we have a tag called link, and here these are the attribute where we are specifying the value for this attribute to work it properly. And we have another attribute called href where we are specifying the location of that particular CSS. So attribute is used to specify the properties of that particular tag. So I believe that now you can understand that HTML tag, HTML element, and the HTML tag attributes. So if anybody will ask you what is the difference between HTML tag, HTML element, and HTML attribute, now you can easily explain the difference. So on this note, I am closing over here. See you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.